Nail Soup Media. We specialize in websites, web communities, and internet products.
Okay, in reviewing everything, we have to look at the key components to internet success. First is making sure you have a brand, and a brand is as little as a logo, a distinctive logo that associates everyone to you. No matter who you work for, it's still you incorporated. So, just general term. You need to make sure you have a brand. The next is a website. Regardless of what a lot of people say, a lot of things about it, your website is your digital equity. If you make it a focal point, it will be worthwhile because you can talk to different people, all the different types of clients, from the discovery stage client that uses a discovery city phrase to find you, down to the micro and more lucrative communities, developments, specific types of property. Let's say, and I'm sorry, I'm just using a name here, but let's say Beazer Waterfront Homes. Beazer is a developer in some parts of the country. So there are people that are looking for a certain quality of home, a certain type of property with certain attributes that your website, if done properly, can target people to you from the search engines. Social is a component now that does a lot of things. By having social elements like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and then for some people in the real estate industry, Trulia, Zillow, and Homes.com, by having that, it's showing you're active. And by how you use social on your website and other parts of your whole sphere, people will see you versus someone else as active. Regardless, like someone could be answering more questions and doing more stuff on the internet, but if they don't put it on their website as a widget, they don't have things that show that yesterday you answered a great question. There's just there are tons and tons of sites that have no real connection, doesn't show any kind of activity. It's just a standard site, and I'll show that soon. The next thing is mobile. What we found is 78% of buyers, whether they want to list their home or buy a home, they are using their smartphones. And what's happened is that a lot of sites, if you do this, you'll see, do a search, you'll see that the sites, the mobile versions are terrible, and people jump off of it pretty quickly. The next thing is exposure. All these things are great, and there's a social component, but where you're at with the exposure is another item. Meaning that if you have potential clients see you on the first page of the search engines, see you when they search on Trulia, Zillow, Homes, other industry websites, they see you answering questions, they see fans or followers or whatever liking it and commenting on your comment, things like that. It's the equivalent of the old days when people would drive around a neighborhood and see the same company's for sale sign on all these different properties. By having that, you're building value with them because you're becoming an authority for this. So let's review some things as far as your particular needs. Okay, so here let's look at the first thing: brand. A brand, like I said, could be a logo. It could also be branding person. Like here, this is I'm going to show you some things with branding. Here's something that, depending upon what part of the country you're in, you'll see their Yelp account on the first page of Google. And this is let me just say, this is out of 109 million results. Okay, very tough market to get at least to get one thing on the first page, let alone what you're about to see. So here we have the client's name here. As a branding, and then also here with her photo and having an enhanced listing. Then this is Facebook done, where you've got the branding. So branding is not only a logo, but it's also your business name or who you are. Like you and in the industry. So it's a combination of things. If you were a prospective client and for this area, these are 1 million+ homes, and you were Googling, you would see Mary Beth Hurtado, Mary Beth Hurtado. You won't see it here, but basically, if you did some digging, just like you were driving around the neighborhood, you would see the equivalent of the same for sale sign on a bunch of different properties. Each line here and each avenue is basically a different property that this client is getting branding on. And then Mainline Real Estate Agent, you have the same kind of branding. You've got the client, you've got another, you've got four things. Look at the space that's taking up. This is a combination of all the principles that we're talking about. But what happens is, as prospective clients do their surfing on the web, they keep seeing Mary Beth Hurtado. They keep seeing Mary Beth Hurtado, Mary Beth Hurtado. Here, Mary Beth Hurtado. So it's something so there's two different facets to branding. There's branding in and of itself. There's branding of the business name and branding of the name of the person, name of the agent. And then this also goes how branding is synergistic with the other elements that we're showing here. Website, social, mobile, and exposure. So this is just one thing to think about. Okay, so let's talk about a website. The website needs to have some elements to it that let people know that that things are going on. So, like this site here. Let's go. Okay, so for this particular site, it has a nice look to it, but it also has some elements showing that things were happening with this company less than 24 hours ago. You have questions here that they've answered. So by looking at this site, you can immediately tell that things are happening, as we speak. So it's more current. There may be people that are doing more, they're participating more across the web, but by tying elements in, Facebook, Trulia, there's a Zillow component that you're able to do. If you're not showing anything that showing as being, that things were active as of the past few days, like this site, you can't tell when the last time something happened, and that's now going to be important. How timely your site appears is going to create a buzz. People want to see when they're visiting on the internet. They want to see, some kind of buzz, things that are happening, people liking, things like that. So you want to take your other participation in other sites and incorporate it into your main site, because your main site is your representative. It's gonna say, hey, we answered questions on Trulia. We did this on Zillow. If you look up here, this shows 29 people recommended this site. 361 people recommend, or liked the site. You've got testimonials from clients. You've got your Facebook, all the people that like it. Trulia questions that were recently answered. This shows a lot of activity. And that's what people want to see. People want to see that people are coming in and out of your business. Not that you're down the street in a cubbyhole someplace, with cigarette smoke and cobwebs. So that's one of the purposes of your website. Your website, more than ever now, because of widgets and all your activity elsewhere, can create focal points, for the client for different activities. Because buyers are going to look at a page and see something. Sellers are going to look at the page and see something else. So by having activity, by having a timely interface like this, it will help with getting the people that you want to get in different categories going to different parts of your site to get more value. So that's the website function. Okay, social. Social is a combination of a bunch of things. It is, like right now, how people are getting chosen, or you notice some of the people in your industry are doing better than you. It's basically because they're putting themselves out more on the social websites. They are commenting, they are answering questions, they're showing that they have personality and that they're problem solvers. That is a big thing. So basically, when you look at some of the sites, when you look at the questions, Glen Hardy neighborhood, Wayness versus Canterbury Woods, Berwyn, this how they're answering questions on Trulia and Zillow and such like this. This is what's getting people to contact you, is by how you're answering questions that people are asking for specific communities, the market in general, and things like this. So, and this is Trulia. There's Zillow. There's Homes.com. There's Facebook. If you go to a Facebook page and you've got things that are happening in the area, getting engagement, getting people involved. So what things like this is all sparking comments and activity and likes. Some of it has to do directly with real estate. Others have to do with things that are happening in the community. And then this ongoing feed of things that are timely, things that are related to the area, as well as market reports to the area. This is all stuff that how do I say, they give the sphere more value, because it's not just trying to sell them something, it's giving them insights to what's going on and such. But the other thing it does is for those that are looking around, because when they search the internet and they find you, like they do. Let's go here. So they click on a bunch of these, and here let's just go to this one just for an example. You don't know if this site was done yesterday or 10 years ago. So this is something that and log in with Facebook, but there's nothing here. There's nothing that's really getting people to get involved except just for the search. So looking at this one, it's nice looking, and this is good for the other element that a website should have, some features for people to look and play with, but it too has nothing that's timely. You have no idea when this site was done. This site could have been done 10 years ago. So basically, having the social element, like how many people have liked it, how many people have given a Google Plus thumbs up, all these different things, right? That is going to be the future of like, how to say, there's some people that's not a big deal, but many people like to see that the person they're going to choose is popular and has an authority element to that. Right here, I have no idea if this person has are they involved anywhere? Are they like what questions have they answered recently that might pertain to something that I want to ask? These are things that will be crucial in the future, but right now it's an element that if you have your social dialed in, and it doesn't have to be super difficult, if you have your social dialed in, then you'll get more business, because it's like an additional, group of for sale signs out in the market. Because remember, the market is no longer people driving around the neighborhood. That is part of it. But the real deal now is the internet. If in their discovery, when they're doing the discovery of phrases, and they click around and say, okay, Mary Beth Hurtado. They then do a little digging. They find Mary Beth Hurtado again, and then they go to Yelp and Trulia, Trulia and Zillow and Homes.com. Mary Beth Hurtado again. By the time they're starting to decide, they've gone from the discovery phrase to, okay, I think I want to ask some questions about this and that. They're gonna, in their mind, they're gonna have like a tally that they've seen Mary Beth Hurtado all over the place. And if you were to call, some of our clients, they'd tell you that one of the things they find is that, yes, I get a lot of people that say, wow, you're just everywhere on the internet. And that's where they start their look. And if it's done right, if you have that kind of exposure with your social, social is not just like putting up a billboard or a business card someplace on the net. It's a combination of showing how you problem solve, have your testimonials and friends and fans and followers, chat up the conversation that you're having on these different platforms. That's what gets people to use you, and this is a key component. Your social is good for that. It's also good for helping with search engine optimization and getting you on the first page of the search engines, because all these different sources, they are related to keywords, mainline real estate agent, and what happens is that the more that you have different places that are showing you, Facebook and Yelp and Yahoo Local and all these different spots that are linking back to you, helps the search engines make you an authority for a certain market. So that's another reason why social is important. Social, first of all, helps the people that are searching at the micro level. They're on the discovery phase, but then they want to know which community is better for for this type of lifestyle, and they find content that you have on these other websites that builds value instantly, because they're not having to talk to you and try and get sold by you. They're just able to anonymously check you out. And so if the things you're saying on the social levels work, they're gonna associate themselves to you better than someone that's not doing that. So social helps that way. Social helps with all the different comments. Like when you, here, let me show you. Okay, so when people post, like when you post something here, these keyword this link helps with keywording, for the different things. And as people like it, it's one of those things. As people like it, every time people like it, it pushes the relevance of this Facebook post, but also the page up. So the more, we're talking search engine optimization wise. This is a key element. Okay, when it comes to Facebook, the more videos that you do and the playlists that you create, and you get people that like it, that like a page.
Elliot from Distinct.
And just this alone, like here, if you were to, let's go back here for a second and let's just pick like 913 Weldon Lane. Cool, search 913 Weldon Lane. Okay, so this is basically the search engine optimization of the videos. Not only helps with the address of the specific property, but if you look at this, you'll see that the link to the website is going there. So this client has 252 videos that have, talking about specific, specifically their market, and have link backs to their site. So, this is another thing where social media, helps out. Now, Pinterest, YouTube, there's a host of sites that by, a path of least resistance, by having a photo, taking photos of a property when you do a virtual tour or when making a virtual tour, those are all the individual photos, and the video itself is something that you can, have working for you search engine wise. So there's a lot of the social elements help with your search engine ranking. Now, this is an advanced topic with social media and how it helps at your search engine optimization. In the old days, when you had a website, this is Realtor.com back in December 23rd of 1996, and you really didn't have to have much on a page to get it to rank. Well, those days are gone, and you can't just have a bunch of people from different from Indian sauna places and Viagra stores online linking to your real estate website. That's going away, and what you have now is, and the Yelp is one of the first people to start it, is they've made the linking process or the referral or testimonial process with using smart technology. So basically, now it's at the detriment at the moment for some, but it's a thing that like here you'll notice that there's 9 filtered reviews, and basically this is because they are thinking, even though it's not the case, they are thinking that the reviews are not how do I say that they're not real. And you can Google this, and Yelp is a learning process, and don't get stuck on this. But these are all legitimate people that have reviewed them, but it's being filtered at the moment because they think that it's not the people are putting in fake reviews. Where am I going with this? Is that if, like, what's happening now with Zillow and Trulia, Yelp, Google Plus or Google Local, whatever you want to call it, it's starting to go that way. They are screening the reviews. So the people that have legitimate reviews on Yelp and across the board are getting how do I say, the search engines are starting to use of the sites that you have. Let's do this. Let's go. 1 second. Okay, so 1 second here. Okay, so the people that have reviews here, it's not only like on Google, but on Yahoo, Show Me Local, Judy's Book, on a bunch of websites. You're getting these reviews from people, and it's about the type of Katy, Texas real estate agent. So what happens is that these will now be how your clients review you on these third-party, unbiased websites. As they get smarter, search engines will be going to all the review sites like Yelp and such, and using that as a tool to get your site ranked. So the social is really important, and you have to get that. Sorry I took too long on explaining this, and this may be a little you may have some questions, so be sure to let me know. Okay, so right in front of you, I have the mobile version of what this site is gonna look like. And this is okay, but you really can't, you have to really, you can't read the navigation here. You can't do it like this, right? So let's look at another site And here's a mobile version that gives a call to action. Now, some people will tell you that when it comes to mobile, oh, well, they talk about WordPress and responsive, and that's nice, but it is not the same thing as a mobile. A mobile version targets your clients to specific areas. Responsive themes, and let me show you an example. Here's a site that we're working on that I'm going to show you the mobile. At the moment, they're thinking about, they think they have a mobile because it's using the website's responsive theme element. Now let's look at it through the mobile, and what you'll see is that it is mobile. You can use it, you can go to pages and things like that, but it's not really as good as what a mobile would look like we just showed you in the example. With Hoboken, you are getting pointed to specifics that you can do. You can, navigate and do things like that. So mobile is important. So now let's do something. Let's just pick a place. Let's just pick. Okay, so now let's look at Katy Real Estate. Okay, and then when I click on the first one, I click on this, and there's really, you can't use this site. So they're advertising, and they're basically missing out on mobile. One other thing about mobile is that, like Google, Yahoo, and Bing, if they don't detect a mobile version of your site, they won't run ads. I forgot which one does it. One of the three is more intelligent in a sense that they're not going to waste your ad money. So if you don't have a mobile, if they can't detect a mobile version, then they're not going to do it. So now let's go to the next contestant. It's nice looking, but if I have to zoom in and see, okay, buyers. Let's go buyers. See, I gotta find homes again. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm having to navigate, and I can't read this at the moment. And this is the same size. Like here, I have to zoom in, and now I've got to pick. See, I'm having to go up and down and around. It's just not working. It's not going to work. People won't waste time with it. They'll find something that's easier to do. So there's Realtor.com, Homes.com. Let's try HAR. See if HAR. I think they do. I think they're pretty. Nope. I'm trying to zoom in, and it won't let me zoom in. So basically, so now let's go down to see if we can find. Okay, here's someone. Katy Real Estate. Oh, that's right. That's the same people. Katy Home Finder. Still terrible. Katy. Still, it's just they're not optimized for the mobile. Another one, not optimized for the mobile. So let's get to, let's see. Yeah, again. Nice looking site. Let me bring this up a little bigger. I have to just to get it to where you can see, I have to expand it beyond. On a tablet, it probably looks good, but on the phone, it doesn't. So, yeah, another one that you can't use this. You can't use this this site. On a mobile. Look how many sites we've gone through that it's going to take effort for the mobile viewer to look. Okay, so now let's go to Dale Ross. And here's all the communities. Here's his recent activity, on YouTube, and his connection. So he's not only showing a good mobile, he's showing that he's been, he's busy, he's doing stuff. So on a mobile, it's a combination of everything. The other thing too is that by having a mobile version, you can advertise better. You could do a few things. Let me show you here. Let me show you something else. Okay, this is for Bentonville real estate, right? So here's this is, as we scroll down here, we're getting to this one here. And then let's go back to search, go down to downtown Bentonville. Okay, I mean this is nicer, but you still have to zoom in to see what's up, and I still can't. I mean, you have to really look at it to see what's up. So let's go Weichert. I'll bet you Weichert has it done because, yeah, they have it mobile. Right. So this, out of all the ones we've looked at, this one's got a good mobile, and then we're not counting the national ones just because, like Realtor.com and such, because that's just, and that's another. I guess that's another thing you need to think about is that you have to have your website and mobile should equal the national brands, because by having the same level of experience, you're putting yourself into the upper end, the higher class of real estate portals to be used on a regular basis. If you have the same functions, you have a good appeal, and you're local, that will give you an advantage versus, even though there's local people on Trulia, Zillow, and Homes and Realtor, it's a different feeling, and I can explain that. I could talk for hours about all the different scenarios. So looking at this, we're on page 2 now, and like, oh, this is good. This is a nice one, nice and simple. Yeah. So this has got this has got a thing. So out of all the ones that we've looked at, there's like 2 that have. Let's see if this is commercial real estate, so it may not matter. Yeah, this is still like, it's got to be, pretty much viewable. As soon as it loads, it's got to be something that you can see and use. This is unreadable. It's nice, but this is a regular website. It's not a mobile version. I have to zoom in and then let's try. Let's see how that looks. I mean, it's nice, but you have to. I'm still waiting for it to load. Come on. Yeah, so this is not. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here, this is the same thing. I've got to it won't, there we go. Okay, so it won't, now, there we go. See, I got to play with this in order to get it to work. And that's, the more you have to play with it, the shorter the time they're going to spend, on the site. Okay, so, let's try this. Yeah, another one. See, all these sites, this is your opportunity, is by having a strong mobile, along with everything else, you can get ahead of everybody. Again, I have to mess with it in order to see. I mean, where do I go and search? If I have to look around, it's too late. So this is the thing that why a mobile is important. Okay, so now let's talk about exposure. Exposure we've sort of gone over. If you look at the branding, you have your your name, your logo, your business entity out there in all different ways on the search engines, in your profiles on all the different mediums, in Facebook and YouTube and things like that. Oh yeah, that's another thing too, which I didn't show you. Okay, and part of the branding is also going so far as putting intros and outros on your videos. So it could be something like,
welcome to Distinctive Homes Mainline, showcasing the best of what the Philadelphia Mainline has to offer.
Something like this.
612.
And then at the end have what's called an outro with a video directory that would navigate them to places. So that's the basic, that's just one element of a bunch that when you look at exposure, it's the things that I showed you, in the, like this, by being on Trulia and Zillow and Homes and Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff. Now, and that's the other thing too. I know the first thing you're probably thinking right now, it's just too much work. We make it digestible so that you're not having to work so hard. But if you can accomplish this and get seen in different platforms and where people are, it's no different than, back in the old days when you attended school functions and church functions and sport functions and your buddies from the other job you had, or your wife's friends from the job she has, or whatever. As you go to these functions, people see you, they know who you are, or they meet you, and you're on a one-to-one level, spreading your celebrity authority. When I say celebrity, I mean that in the sense that you're a real estate agent in the area and you know what's going on. So, but you're at a one-to-one level, you're doing that, and once that meeting's over or that party's over, it has a lingering effect to a degree, but that's it. Their exposure to other people, in person and on the internet and advertising, gets put into the same bowl of the experience they had with you, and you slowly get choked out or diluted out, when you look at all the different things that they're getting exposed from. But by doing this, by investing in the internet and doing it in a way that doesn't dissipate, it doesn't go away, that what happens is that now you have to participate in some areas. You got to answer questions. You got to take photos and videos and upload them, and we take them and put them into the right format, and we make sure that it gets done right. But if you do that, then you'll get this kind of exposure, and that's really exposure does many things. It gets your digital this sounds too egotistical, but digital empire, ranked well, like your digital. Gosh, I can't think of a good thing, but you get all your websites, your status on all these other sites. They're ranking in the search engines for all the different phrases. And then it works for you night and day, 24 hours, 7 days a week. It helps people see you without feeling like they're going to get sold. They get an anonymous and unintrusive way to get to know you, and by your answers and by your expressions in all these different areas, they get to like you as if you were just at dinner and they were in the table next to you and they were listening to you talk about real estate. That's what you get, but you get it like once you put it out there, it's there. And clients from a couple years ago, if you answered questions a couple years ago, people will Google it still, find it, and get that answer and see that you problem solved, or that you're smart, or that you're lighthearted, you're dynamic, and that's those little pieces add value. So that's the whole thing. Why it's important to have all these things separately, and then working with each other to make everything easier. The better website you have and the way it's laid out will help you with your brand, your social, your exposure. By having the right mobile will get your brand out more. We'll get them tied into social and get you better exposure. And it goes. They all work in conjunction with each other, and it's the right combination is what's going to make it to where you're successful, and that's what we do, and what we can help you with. So, that's really all the components as far as, like I said, I can go for hours on different things, but this is basically the elements that you need in order to succeed and make money on the internet.